Hello, hello, friends. Hello, everyone. Good morning from here and happy Sunday. How are you all doing? How are you doing today? How are you doing today? How is your day going? Hello. So, who is joining us today? Hello, who is joining us today? My friends, who is joining us today? Hello, someone is in there. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Hello. Hello. Uh, Jaxie Morrow. You're the first person to join this live. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. I'm very well, thank you. How about you? How is your Sunday going? How are you? How is your Sunday going? Oh, nice. So where are you joining us from? Jaxie, where are you joining us from? Oh, you're bored. So I hope today's live stream that you just joined would help out. At least you will learn something today. It will help you out with your boredom. Thank you for joining. So where are you joining us from? Where are you joining us from? Jaxie. Jaxie, where are you joining us from? Jaxie, are you there? Are you there? Are you still there? Where are you joining us from? Jaxie. I guess we lost him. So wait to see if someone else joins. Hello, hello, Jaxie. Hello. Who else is joining us? Who else is joining us? So today I want to talk about vicarious liability. I'm just waiting to see even if we have 5 people at once that have joined. This will help me to go ahead with today's topic, vicarious liability. So, so we can start, right? Okay, so today's topic is on vicarious liability, and when we talk about vicarious liability, we're talking about the liability of a person as a result of the wrongdoing of another person. This kind of liability could happen either between an employer and employee. It could happen either between a master or a servant. It could happen either between a parent or a child. It could happen either between a husband and a wife. So there are various instances that vicarious liability could take place, and most of us have, in one way or the other or at different times, taking liability for the actions of another person. Just that we did not place a tag or a name tag to it. And today we're going to be learning what happens in this instance and what it really means and what the law says as to every claim for vicarious liability. One thing with our laws is that for every claim or for every crime or for every responsibility, there are certain factors that will be considered for that claim to succeed. So today, as we discuss vicarious liability, we are discussing liability of a person over the wrongdoing of another person. That's just the simplest definition of vicarious liability. As a parent, at one point or the other, you would have been responsible for the action of your child. As a parent, at one point or the other, yes, you would have been responsible for the action of your child. Maybe your child went to somebody's house and maybe spoiled something or messed up something, and they call you. You probably will have to pay for it. That is vicarious liability. Or as an employer, at some point you would have been responsible for the actions of your employee in the course of their employment to you. Maybe you sent your employee to go get something, and probably that thing got messed up, and then you bear the responsibility of compensating the client or the person that is or the aggrieved person. So vicarious liability takes different forms, but the law is straight and strict on claims arising from vicarious liability. Just like, I think, over 6 months ago, the incident of Dangote and Fina, where a staff of Dangote, his driver actually ran into the sister of a Nigerian celebrity and ex-BB Naija housemate or winner, Fina. So the driver of the company ran into Fina, and by so doing, ran into Fina's sister, and by so doing, the young lady lost her life as a result, and this gave rise to vicarious liability. That driver was not personally liable because at the time at the time the incident happened, he was actually in the course of his employment, carrying out his responsibility as a driver. So if peradventure at the time that thing happened, that driver was probably running an errand for another person that is not Dangote, or probably doing his own personal business, maybe Dangote would have been exonerated from liability. But at the time that thing happened, the driver was not just driving, but he was driving one of Dangote's truck, and that was why Dangote was made to take responsibility for the actions of that his driver at that point. So this now brings us to the to actually what the law says about vicarious liability. Now, in the case of Total Nigeria Limited against Oku, is a Supreme Court case. Total Nigeria Limited against Oku. The Supreme Court actually laid down different ingredients or different factors that must be considered to actually make any claim for vicarious liability successful. These factors are: number one, that at the time of the action of the person that is involved, that the person was actually under the master or the person that is meant to take liability, either as his employee or as his servant or as his child or as his spouse. And at that time, the person was actually carrying out the instructions of his master or his principal at that time, and there was a harm or there was an injury in the course of his carrying out the instructions of his master. There an injury or a harm occurred in the course of that, and finally that at that time that the harm resulted in maybe an injury to someone, or someone suffered loss of some sort, and then a claim for vicarious liability would not arise. So these are the factors. One, that the person was actually a subordinate, or let me say employer employee. The person was an employee of the employer at the time. The person was carrying out the responsibility of the employer at the time the act was made, that there was actually a wrongful act, and the wrongful act resulted in damages or injuries. So that these are the factors the court will look at, and this chain must not have been broken at any point. For example, that maybe the master sent him to go and deliver an item, and then along the line he drops the item the master sent him and picked up another item from another person, and or picked up his personal item and went to go and deliver. That chain of the factors would have been broken, and if there was a harm, or if there were injuries as a result, of course the master will not be vicariously liable for the actions of his employee, because the chain was broken. So the chain will arise that the master sent him, that he went, and in the course of his doing the instruction, that a grievous harm occurred, and his action resulted in a grievous harm. That will be when vicarious liability would arise. And somebody will now say, as an employer, you're paying salaries, you're doing staff welfare, you're spending a lot, and now you will now be responsible for the actions of your employee. That's not fair. That is why we have insurance policies, so that at this time when these things happen, a bit of the burden will be borne by the insurance company. So there is also need for you to ensure insure these services so that in times of injuries or vicarious liability, you will be able to, the insurance company will bear part of the burden. So because the law says that a master is responsible for the actions of his servant in the course of carrying out the instructions of the master, because the servant wouldn't have been in that place if he was not carrying out the instructions of his master. I just believe that at least we would have understood what vicarious liability really mean. I'll join you shortly. I just want to check something and come back. Okay, so now, like I was saying, we have actually laid down what the law says that should be present for a claim of vicarious liability. And I've also advised employers, in order for you not to bear the burden alone, or for even parents, in order for you not to bear the burden alone, there's need for insurance policies. You can insure the work contract, your contract with your employees. You can also ensure, put life insurance for your children, insurance, so that in instances of this nature, the insurance company would bear part of the burden. So I don't know if you have any question. I don't know if you've also had an experience maybe with your child or with your staff, and probably you want to ask questions. The issue is that the principle of vicarious liability happens in every country of the world. It's not just in Nigeria. Yes, even though it's to the vicarious liability arises in different aspects of our lives and in every country of the world, not just peculiar to Nigeria. It's just that the laws that may apply may differ depending on the jurisdiction and depending on their lifestyle. That's their sociocultural build up. The laws may differ, but the principle remains the same, that a master would be vicariously liable for the actions of his servant in the course of his employment. So, and then I'm sure that a lot of countries have insurance companies that can cover the risk of all these things and actually bear the burden when these incidents occur. So I don't know if we have any questions. Don't know if we have any questions, or probably you want to share your experience. This is an ample time, or this is an opportunity for you to do so. I'll be waiting for the next 30 minutes to get our questions, to get our contributions, and probably to respond to us as the case may be. So don't know if you have any question. I'll be here waiting for you. Are there questions? Are there questions? Are there questions? I don't mind. Hello, who is joining us today? I'll be right back. So, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Are there people with questions? Are there people just joining us? Please, if you're joining us, if you're just joining us, just say hello. Just say hello. If you're just joining us, kindly indicate. I can do a recap of what I said about vicarious liability and some remedies available to employers in this instance. So I just remembered that another remedy too that would also avail an employer is to always conduct proper orientation for your staff whenever they come into your employment. Always conduct so that you would save yourself certain risks that you would have handled excuse me, that you would have handled in the course of those all those orientation. And also, from time to time, even existing staff members try to conduct trainings, also safety trainings too, because sometimes some of these people make these mistakes out of ignorance. So it would also make them knowledgeable, not just about the company but about their safety as well, to prevent you from certain kind of liabilities. And if even though this may not avail you, you put it in your staff contract that you're not responsible. Even if you put it in your staff contract that you're not responsible for any wrongful act of your employee, the law still says that irrespective of the fact that you put it in your staff handbook or the staff contract, that you will still be responsible. That's what the law says. As far as that employee was carrying out your instruction at the time the wrongful act was done, you will still be responsible. So that's what the law says. So you may not have to, you may not exonerate yourself in the staff contract, but having an insurance policy, doing proper orientation for new staff, and conducting, frequent trainings for existing staff members would save you certain kind of risk. So I look forward to other questions. I look forward to other questions. Good morning, beautiful people of Nigeria. I'm grateful. Today is Valentine. Happy Valentine to you all. Some of us don't. You're resting for what? What are you resting for? Which work did you do that you're resting? Carry your book and write. You people slept, woke up, ate food, resting for what? So any other question? Any other question? Anybody asking any other question? Any other question? Before I end this live stream, are there other questions? Are there other questions? Go back and write. It's writing you're doing. Is it not writing that you're doing? Are you talking? Okay then, I'll be ending this live now. My details are on my bio, just in case you have questions and probably you want to reach out. My email is there. My number on WhatsApp is also there, so you can reach out to me. Just check out my details on my bio on my YouTube channel. There, you see my details. You can reach out. Thank you so much for your time and for having me, and then enjoy the rest of your day.